Hey everyone, my name is Ryan and I'm the CEO and founder here at UpKeep. And it is Release Friday once again. We made some big releases across our 3 different products, and I'm really excited to share with you what those features and updates are. First up, our Smart Import Checklist Generator. Really awesome new feature. You can drop in a manual, you can drop in a PDF, and we'll help you create PMs for your assets automatically. It's a really cool feature that I hope you check out. On top of that, we also updated our beta work order 2.0. So we've added just more functions, more features into that beta product. Go into our work orders page, check it out. It's really, really awesome. It's going to be the future of our work orders page. And then third, lastly, for our web application, allocated part quantities, just helping you better plan inventory, your parts, and what's coming up, and what's being used right now in your work orders in terms of parts. So again, really cool feature to help you plan out, your inventory. All right, on top of that, we've also updated UpKeep Edge, our IoT sensors product. So if you've used UpKeep Edge and you have a few of our sensors, you've noticed that previously it used to be in our Edge page. Now you can find all of your runtime metrics directly on the assets page in UpKeep Core. So really, really cool for all of our Edge customers. That's going to be a really awesome new feature. All right, last up, for our mobile platforms. On iOS, we added the ability to have dynamic island timers with live activity. Again, it's just going to help you capture all of those times on all of your work orders so much easier. So really exciting week for us here at UpKeep. I'm going to pass it over to the product managers to show you exactly how to use it directly in UpKeep. I'll see you next week. Thanks.
Hey, for my part today, we have 2 new features to go over. The first one is a mobile first feature, and it really addresses the problem that comes up a lot. So you start a work order, you have a timer running, but then you forget about it because you're not in the UpKeep app all day. You're a technician, you're in the field, you're working, you're busy, you have a life. And so you forget to stop the work order timer, and so it runs on over the weekend, and now you've racked up tens of hours or hundreds of hours. And so we want to prevent this problem in a way that helps meet you exactly where you are. We don't want to force you back into the app. So what comes today is we're rolling out first on iOS. It's called our Dynamic Island. And so with Dynamic Island, we're rolling out live activity for you. So let me just show you in action what that looks like. So I'm just going to share my phone. And I'm going to go to the UpKeep app. So I'm on my main homepage now. I go over to my work orders because let's say I'm about to start a new work order. I click on the work order here, and then I'm going to press start because I'm going to restart my timer here. And as you can see, I'm working. And then I'm leaving the UpKeep app as I would normally. And then up here, you'll see on the corner, we have a UpKeep logo. So if I click on it, it'll bring me directly to the work order that is currently running right now. So it's just to send me a quick reminder. Also, if I go back to my page here and then I press it a little bit harder, you see there's a running timer that's still going, and then also the work order timer. And then again, you can view your work order, and it brings you back to the current one that you're working on. Also, let's say I shut off my phone altogether because I'm on site and I'm busy. When I click into it, you can see I have an active timer that is running along with the work order that I'm working on. So this is focused on the primary work order that you're in charge of right now. And so if you have other work orders running, we're actually going to send you a reminder to let you know that you have multiple work orders. And then you can decide what you want to do with it at that moment in time. But yeah, and so this is available on iOS only to start, and you need your iOS to be version 16 and over. Most of you already have this, so you're all set. If you happen to realize that you can't access this functionality, then just make sure you go to your phone settings and update to the latest version. So if you're 16 and over, then you're totally fine. And if you want this on Android, then please do let us know. We're happy to roll it out for you as well. We just wanted to make sure that we're supporting you and moving fast. And so we want to find a good balance there. So yeah, please do let us know. And if you have any feedback and any thoughts, we have some other improvements coming around this next week as well. The second feature is around smart imports. So a lot of you have already been introduced to our smart imports about a week or 2 ago. So let me just go here to checklists. Smart imports is where you go to checklist and you add a checklist. And as you can see here, you upload a PDF file and it creates a brand new checklist for you based on your operating manual that's in a PDF form. So let's go ahead and do it again just to make sure we're all aligned with what it does. I'll just pick a random one here and I'm going to process it. So this is the feature that has already been live, but we've gotten a lot of really good feedback from you. And one of the feedback items was that, hey, sometimes when the operating manual is a little bit too simple, we're starting to realize that your tool here gets a little bit creative with the task list that it's generating. So we got your feedback, we went back in, we really played around with the algorithm and we've honed it down. So now you're going to see that this checklist is a lot more accurate. So if we don't have enough information, we're not just going to get creative. We've really tamped down on the creativity, so now it's going to read exactly what you have in your operating manual. If it's not in your operating manual, it won't be here either. And in the following weeks too, we will have some other exciting news to share with you around smart imports and new functionality we're releasing around this. Thank you so much.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. I'm excited to walk through a couple new features for Work Orders 2.0 as well as a new feature on parts this week. So the first thing I'm going to show you all is a new field which we've added to our parts and inventory module, which is called allocated and on-hand quantities. Now the purpose of these two fields is to help give you extra insight into how many parts are sort of available for consumption, but also how many parts might be, already accounted for or, pulled from your available quantity, but are still on open work orders that, maybe that part is kind of still existing on the shelf. So we've introduced two new fields, allocated and on-hand quantity. How this allocated quantity will work is when you add a part to a work order, it gets removed from available quantity. That's how the system works today. But now we're going to add it to a bucket called allocated quantity. An allocated quantity is just how many parts you have on open work orders. We then sort of take on available and allocated quantity and combine those to give you an on-hand quantity, which is, how many are available, how many are on open work orders, how many do you have total on hand? 129. So in this example, I'm going to take this 4700 cutting stick. I am going to take this work order and I'm going to add it to that work order. I'm going to add a part 4700. I'm going to add that. All right. So now I added that part. I just added a quantity of 1. And now if I refresh this list, you'll see that my allocated quantity went to 3. Now from here, I'm going to need to record a little bit of time and confirm. All right. And now I'm going to close my work order. So since my work order is complete now, you'll see this allocated quantity is going to drop back down to 2, which is what it was before, because now this work order is complete. I'm sort of saying, hey, this part has definitely been consumed, and now my allocated went back down. And my total on hand has now gone down from 129 to 128. These two fields are available for configuration here, so you can turn them on or off. If these are fields that you don't want to see in your parts and inventory, you can just go ahead and turn those fields off. The available quantity will continue to work as it did before, which is just when you add a part to a work order, available quantity gets reduced. One quick thing, in order to enable this feature, you do need to go into your settings. And what you'll need to do is go to your parts and inventory and click this sync button for sync allocated part quantities. That's just going to make sure that the system's going to go and see how many parts are on open work orders, and it's going to assign those allocated quantities to that parts. When you first log in, you might see some zeros for allocated quantities. You have to go run that sync, and then you'll see those allocated quantities displayed here in the parts list. All right. And then the other thing I want to show you all this week is related to Work Orders 2.0, and it shows two different functionalities that sort of existed on the legacy version of Work Orders that we've brought back to Work Orders 2.0. The first of those is being able to bulk update the assignee of work orders. So I can take sort of 3 work orders, check them here, click Update Assignee, pick a worker, assign them to someone, and that will update all of the work orders to the primary assignee will now be whoever was chosen from that list. And then the other feature we brought back is the ability to generate a feedback link. So if you want to send sort of a link to a user outside of UpKeep, so someone who doesn't have access to your UpKeep account, but you want to send them a link where they can provide some feedback on a work order, rate how you did, and give some comments. You open the work order modal, open this little overflow menu, and then just copy this feedback link. That'll automatically be copied to your keyboard. You can go ahead and post that as a URL anywhere, send it an email, whatever. And then anyone, again, anyone can access this. Is anyone who has a web browser. They don't need to be logged into UpKeep, can access this link, and they can give you a rating and send some feedback. You did a great job, and submit that. All right, that is all for this week. I'm excited to share more updates in the coming weeks. Thanks.
Hey everybody, Mark Gelb here, and today I'm excited to introduce you to the addition of runtime and utilization metrics on the asset sensors page. For some context, we recently integrated sensors from our Edge product into the assets page within the core UpKeep application. So now if you click on a particular asset, you'll notice there's a new sensors tab, and you click on that sensors tab, you get a list of the sensors that you've associated with this particular asset. This is really nice because it gives you your condition data alongside your work orders, details, parts, everything else, all in one place. Now, sensors can collect more than just condition data though. So if you were, for instance, to use a current sensor, something that measures electric current, not only do we measure the conditions like average current, we also can use the current data to track utilization and to track runtime. But before, we had not yet integrated the runtime and utilization data into that assets page, but now we have. So if you go and you click on that particular asset again, go to the sensors page, you'll notice that in addition to the average current, we also have utilization and runtime. So those two components now in one convenient UI element and all in one place. So again, you can drill down, identify any sort of like trends, and then take action accordingly. So that'll do it from me. See you all next time.